Hello and welcome to Not Your LGS. Today we're going to be talking about some upcoming product releases, starting off with the most relevant product release, the Aurora Armory deck. I don't have any physical products to show you today, but I will try to have some images up on screen so you can follow along. Looking at the Aurora Armory deck so far, it seems a little disappointing. The equipment mostly seems to be focused on being able to discard instants to get effects. However, the deck doesn't seem to run enough instants to make use of all of these cards, which is very disappointing. And they seem to have built her in the way that most people want to build her, which is not focusing on the rune chant aspect of it and playing as many Rune Blade cards with Go Again or Lightning cards. Which, there's nothing technically wrong with that, but I feel like they could have done something with the equipment. They made all this new equipment that focuses on instants, and then her deck list seems to only have about 2 or 3 instants in it, if I remember correctly. So I'm just kind of disappointed with that. Next up, we have the Max Nitro Armory deck. I feel like we might get a new Max with this deck. Either a new Max or a full set of new armor, which is probably going to happen, but his weapon just seems to be so focused on being able to put cards under it, but it itself doesn't have a way to do that. So either the Max they print, if they give us a new one, like what they did with Dash.io, will probably be focused on putting cards under the weapon with an ability, or there will be equipment that they print with it to put cards under his weapon. But as of right now, Max doesn't have a lot of release information, so we're kind of in the dark on his deck for a while. Next up is High Seas. Now, High Seas we have seen nothing from, but it is our next set coming out in June, and I, for one, am very excited for that. There are about 3 things I would like to see from the set. I would like to see a new illusionist hero, maybe like Shadow Illusionist, or maybe like a Siren Illusionist, if they want to invent a new specialty to go along with it. I am really looking forward to see if they want to do like a pirate theme, which I almost feel like if they do pirate, it'll be about stealing cards from your opponent's either top of deck or from their graveyard. Kind of like digging for treasure. And I feel like if they do that, it'll probably be like what Infiltrate does for the Assassin. It steals the card from the top of their library, and then you may play it until the end of your next turn. And if we get a Siren Illusionist or a Shadow Illusion, I would love to see a Shadow Illusionist, just because I feel like it would be really interesting to see a Shadow Illusionist, and I feel like it would be really interesting if they gave her a way to play all of the other Shadow Demon allies, Blasphemous, Nasareth, and Ursa, the Soul Reaper. I feel like it would be a really interesting way if she could be able to create all 3 and really focus on the ally ability, which is what Light Illusionist recently wanted to do. But also, I think it would be fun to just get a plain Illusionist. If we finally saw what base Illusionist does. We've never had a plain Illusionist, which has kind of upset me, because there's been no hero to define the class. And then also I would love, as like my third and final thing that I would love to see in that set, I would love to see a merchant, a CC legal merchant, an old merchant, maybe if they just wanted to print an old version of Cavdine, Trader of Skins, and if they wanted to give him some support. And the only reason I think that they might do that is because it's sea travel based, mercantile, ships coming in, ships coming out. And that's also the reason why I think we might see a pirate specialization, if not a full class. If not a full class, I think we'll at least see a pirate specialization going to either Brute or maybe Guardian, It might be Ranger. I think we might get a Pirate Ranger. I feel like that's a very high possibility. But I feel like if we get Pirate, it's going to go Pirate Brute. And the only reason I bring up Shadow for like a Shadow Illusionist, if we do see one, is just because of the very dark motifs we've seen in the little teaser trailer they sent. There's just very dark, thunderous storm sounds, very shadowed area. And the ocean is very often kind of related with eldritch horror and these eldritch motifs. So I definitely think that if we're going to see another shadow hero anytime soon, it will probably be in High Seas. But other than that, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video.